Refresh. Refresh. Willow! 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 Why did not do thing? Why you not do thing? Do break ice. Oh my god. Why are you like this? There it is. Let's steal the break the ice. That's right. That's right. You done stole it. Thank you, Willow, for breaking that ice there. You are so far and I'm still hunting rusted tools. Hey, brother. When you log into World of Warcraft for the first time, you don't look to the other orcs or wizards or elves or whatever there is in those games and go, damn. Well, actually, you do that, don't you? But don't worry, you will be here. It's honestly not that far. First priority, max your stash and get your benches built. That's first priority. And you don't need too much for that. You just need like plastic and shit. Oh, but you're looking for rusted tools, so you know that. But yeah, I'm prestige and shit, so I'm a little bit further than you. A little bit. Yo, Nev! What good to see you? There's that 333. I've Dan up as long as I'm on my PC's great background noise, but unlike him, I turn on my PC when I sleep or go on vacation for 3 weeks. You mean you don't always keep me up? You do always keep me up, but differently.
Don, why are we breaking so hard today? Raid shakes.
Raid shakes. Read chat daddy. I think that's the first daddy of the day that I've heard, at least. You know, sometimes the internet just needs a good resetting, you know? And that's it. No pants party? Yeah, it's streaking. We're streaking through gymnasium. Through the crowd and into the gymnasium. You could see me? No. You're perfect. You're probably also streaking. You're good. You're good. Oh, I mean, you are streaking.
Did puppies get their morning love and runs?
I crossed you with... yes. Daddy. Of course. Yeah, we took that time. We enjoyed it all. We enjoyed it. They got their Sunday runs. Sunday runs. And I don't mean poop. They didn't poop. Don't be so quick there, Mog. Don't be so quick. It's definitely still dropping frames. Yeah, I'm watching it drop frames. It's dropped 37% of the frames since I've gotten back. You just woke up? Welcome up. Welcome. Yeah, Optimistic Mog, let's go! That's right. That's right. Don't you forget it. I can just dump my backpack.
Have you ever had a Krispy Kreme?
Oh, you're okay. Thank you, Courtney.
Was it crispy?
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah,
I will
right.
be sure to
Right.
check it. The response there. W. Courtney. Don't say sorry. Sorry. For not responding immediately? You're crazy. You don't have to respond immediately. Respond to a DM whenever you respond to a DM. From the guy that responds whenever he responds to a DM. My nap was so good. You were lurking when I said that, huh, Courtney? Okay. Always watching, Wazowski. Let's see. I needed one of these. Shove it in my butt. What up? You did. You didn't see the stream was off? The stream was off. You were doing late or early morning shift. You just waked up and rolled out of bed and made it to work. I hope it was a good day, Court. As good a day as it can be. You did? You saw me down? Oh no, sorry. You saw me down on my story. Yes. It was early morning. It was early morning. Sorry, my brain is poopy, and I done struggle to keep up with what I say. You know this. Oh, the lemon grab one was funny. Yeah, that one's fine. That's just me when I'm on stream. Like, that's what you guys see when I have my little moments. You're seeing my lemon grab. Yeah, I know you know my brain's poopy. My work writes my schedule like 3 weeks to a month ahead of time, so I barely made it. Oh, good man. What did I say? I don't remember. Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah, that's right. I did make it. Yeah. Yeah, guys, I need to talk about that real quick. Good mention by Courtney. If you make my stream awkward for me by lying, I probably won't call you out unless it's like something that needs to be talked about, because I really don't care enough. If that's, if you want to tell these stories, go right ahead. You know what I mean? Go right ahead. I've invited you to be here clearly and given you the platform to do so. I'm just not going to shake my head and agree. I'm just going to shake my head, right? And smile at the camera, as I did when the lies were happening. And so, yeah. Oh, no. It was a few days ago. But yeah, you probably missed it. Right before my brother, they said, hey, good. Take your time off, brother. This is your time that you've earned, and they squeeze you. Whether it feels like squeezing or not, they squeeze you. But still, yeah. Don't worry, Court. I'll fill you in. You get all the tea, Court. You get all it. Maybe not all of it. Sometimes I preserve a little bit of tea for myself and go, maybe this tea doesn't need spilling. I don't spill all the tea. Sometimes people have enough respect in my mind to not talk about them and so I don't always talk about people, about my tea. But the tea that I have here is, I'm happy to share with you. Just not wanting to do it live. Yeah. Yeah. Whatever. They matter enough, I guess. You cheers, you forgot cheers, brother. Cheers, cheers. Birthday's on a Thursday. I was born on a Thursday. I was born on a Thursday. Yeah. I don't necessarily like to talk about my gossip, but it's more of a matter that I do want to share with, you know, at least one person close into the situation, what's kind of going on there. Just so it's not like yelling into a void as much with that one. I'll forget about it on occasion. You know what? Cheers to that. Cheers to that. I don't have like a board that I'm like keeping track of, but man, some people do some vile shit, man. Like I said on my story, or like one of my stories, or I guess it was a reel recently. Like, there's people that pass through here, and I do have good memory of the ugly things they've done. You know what I mean? Like, my memory, and I don't mean like the small things. I mean like big shit, man. Like, I remember when people solicit sex from sex workers in countries where the U.S. Navy very specifically, very much in every... Did you know that when a sailor or a Marine or a soldier or an Air Force person, when they get deployed somewhere that is not foreign to us, we have cultural training. I forget what it's called, cultural something training, and part of that training is often the sex, human trafficking, not sex work, because sex work's fine, but oh god, why do I keep why are words hard? Cultural competency, there you go. Yeah, thank you. And one of them is about sex work in all these different, in the trades of human trafficking that's going on. That's the word I lost for a second. The human trafficking going on through these sex trades. And yeah, I happen to remember the people that talk about it pretty openly, especially the different parlors they stop in at these different ports that we pulled into. And, you know, they pass through here. And it makes me... I think about it every time. Can't lie. When I would see them. But it's fair to say they're not going to be around anymore. At least that one. There's other people that have passed through here. And you know what? Maybe some of them keep showing up. And that's... You know what? It's their business. But I have a long memory for some ugly shit. Because ugly shit is worth remembering. It's worth remembering. I feel like people will crawl back to their ugly ways, and if you do some ugly shit, and if you don't, that's great. Because then it doesn't ever have to be like a, you know, like the memory is just like a, you did a thing, you know? But people can have rehabilitation. I really believe in rehabilitation of a person. But lo and behold, people remain ugly. A lot of the time, is what I've learned. Like forgetting about their tea and having to drink it cold? Yes, exactly. Yes, yeah, I wasn't fudging with your metaphor at all. Or your, I wasn't making a metaphor out of your very realist take Is that what it is? It's very a literal take there. That's it. 1 bit. Thank you very much. I'm gonna smoke this and do that. It's true. Yeah, rehabilitation is too often a fake thing. I have been rehabbed. I'd like to believe I've really, and I'm still going through rehabilitation. Like, every day I'm learning and growing further from that person. I'm rehabilitating myself. Like, from that person. I used to be an ugly person. Not like really, but like
Take your
ugly
time.
because of the things that I had.
Read
It
chat,
has like
Daddy.
core values. But like my real ethical has always been here. It's just that like I had really bad guidance through my early life, and that's why Goku mattered and things like that, because what they like actually leveled inside of me through those years stuck with me, and that's what kept shining and shining, like the humanist side of all those fucking lessons, you know. And so, anyways, good to see all of them green faces in here, and the purple faces, orange faces, the pink faces. Love you guys. To do work instead of game? Oh, damn. You hit me where it hurts today. Good on you. I'm gonna raid. Yeah. Growing is a part of growing and being better is part of that journey and rehabilitation. And mind you, I consider myself rehabbed because I have different like things I kind of stand for, and they're like rooted this time, where like not to go back to another Bible analogy, but it's like building your house on sand and building it on a firm foundation. You know what I mean? Like, one of those things is not a firm foundation that I was building it on at the time, but they had me convinced, and now I feel firmer. But I'm trying to root myself in year by year, day by day, you know, as we all should. As we all should. And yeah, I'd like to learn more. I'd like to keep learning more. I think this year is going to be a good year for many reasons, and I think I'll be going to be able to exercise my vision for certain things. And I'm not going to get too, and maybe it's just marathons, and I can do those and what have you, but I'd like to realize my vision for like some other stuff, like conversations and stuff. Morality's ambiguous at best. Hey, that's fair. That's fair. And I think that's the interesting thing, is like finding out like the foundations of people and like what it means. Like when you say that, there's so much. I mean, it makes sense, right? But there's like you've founded that on different things, and you've like your life has led you to that, and understanding and maybe like core things, right? I think people who are ugly do deserve to be painted as ugly, not in a gossip way, but I'm not going to tell people about you if they ask about our friendship or whatever ship. But I'm not going to tell you about our friendship or whatever ship as ugly. But if you're not doing that, how are you painting them? Because it feels like you said a this or that, right? And you were saying, and I prefer to do it in this way. But if it's not necessarily gossiping, but you're telling them like maybe you should be careful, and you have done that. You have done that. Like you and I have had those conversations, and you and I, like, we can keep it at that. But like you're absolutely right. You aren't a gossipy person. You are more of like a, hey, this is a thing that's happening. And that, I just want to make sure that that's what you mean. Right. Just like a preservation type thing. Hope everyone's having an awesome day. Good to see you, Valley, by the way. Hi. And thank you for all the likes today. You blew me up today on Instagram, make me feel all popular and stuff. Trying to be better at myself and not getting funks. W, not getting in funks. In a weird way, getting sick got me out of the funk I was in for a while. You're gonna get in funks, right? Life is a spectrum of emotions, right? Like, you could quite literally zoom out from your whole life and organize it day by day, and you could follow a roller coaster of how, if like, even as a child, you could go, what was my emotion average for that day? You know what I mean? And you could ride a roller coaster of emotions of like happy, good, bad, sad, good, normal, very normal. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can have, and you can track your whole life. And then, you know, I guess at the average of, if you average it all, you want it to be, at the end of it, you want to have more of out of the funks moments than in the funk moments. But that's what, like, our routines and stuff help us ensure, right? You do things that you enjoy, so you have more in the funk or out of the funk moments, and instead of in the funk. And too much of one thing can lead you to a funk. So sometimes maybe you learn that. I've learned that, like, too much of one thing can make you a funk, lead you to a funk. Can be weird stuff, you know. It can lead you to a funk, even if it's just for the day. And so, yeah. So, anywho's, intersectionality is a myth. With the idea of education camps. Right. Intersectionality is oh, I see. So where thing intersect is a myth. So if I did my experimentation, what you'd find is that I would have a lot of people that don't intersect on different values. Because that's essentially what I want to do. I want to find what people value, is what one of my content pieces I want to do. We want the funk. I do want the funk, but like different funk. The good funk. Yeah. The dancing funk. Yeah. It is ambiguous. Yes. Okay. Yeah. And I think that's fine. I think that's good. I think it's good to define that ambiguousness. As a whole, it should be exiled from the earth. Right. And but Bartholomew is a whore. You didn't hear it from me, though. Well said, Courtney. Nailed it. Martin Luther King Jr., civil rights activist, is also a serious... Yes. Yeah. There are things that... Yeah, I agree. But... that doesn't mean there isn't a spectrum to the answers. But maybe that spectrum isn't a right or wrong. It's more of a... is it humanist or is it not for me? That's all I do. That's how mine is made, at least. And so maybe that casts me into a more like a spot where I would say no to something where someone else would say yes, just because I lean towards a humanitarian response, right? And maybe my response isn't like, and I think I would probably have to be the first person to go through my little content piece just to like make it aware what I'm doing there. But yeah. That's such a good Bingsy emote, oh my god. This is a spectrum, yes. The idea of moral absolutes are in and of themselves a violation on self-determination. Yeah. 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 Yeah, that's fair. I agree with that. I agree. But like, that's where the conversations of like, so I'll make it easy. One of the things I'm going to do is define really easy stuff. Like, how do we feel about murdering someone, you know? And then I'm going to take it maybe a side piece, aside for myself, or just for like the examination of the topic as I'm doing it myself. Because I'm not going to be as verbose, perhaps, with every person. Maybe I'll ask different questions to different people and just try to get things. But like murder, you know? Like, how are we feeling about murder? It should, I think across the board, it'll be like you said, with MLK, like pretty like, yeah. But, you know, then we'll get to other things that'll be like, well, how do you feel about this? And I hope that people feel like it's a space where they can answer honestly, because I don't want it to turn into like debate space. I want it to be like I want to understand how people think space. Not bugs. Us as I exist because people chose to participate in such society. Yeah, absolutely. That's why we see right now, like when people are getting in front of like ICE agents and stuff, it's like, look, people are able to stop it. You can stop it. You can stop the fucking, yeah, there it is. Well done, Emmy. And so like there's things that are like obvious, and there's things that are not obvious, and I want to ask both. A side piece, yeah. Illegal except when your society decides it's okay, like murdering kids on the other side of the globe. Yeah. Right. And so the minutia will be the fun part to get into in different conversations. But I'm sure there will be debates and stuff, but I don't want there to necessarily be debates. I really just want to learn about folks. But if there's ever something that's like, okay, so you're like saying fascism is cool, like maybe we talk about that for a little bit. You know what I mean? Journey to affiliate, you'll follow. Let's go. Yeah, Emmy. Emmy is a friend. I've met him in real life. W homie. A goofball. Needs to date probably, even if he doesn't want to, but with different parameters. Actually, not right away. Find your happiness within yourself. You're on a good journey. Oh shit. I haven't changed that in a really long time. Thanks for though. Hell yeah. I just feel like, nah, holding in hits is just bad for your brain cells. I get it into my lungs and get it out. I make them shit stick to my lungs, and then I push the shit out. That's what the science has taught me, and I'm in. Oh, it looked like I did for a second. That's funny. I didn't mean to. If I did, maybe for a second there. I try not to hold it too long though. Yeah, I do want open conversation. I do. But not at the like at some point I become a platform for bad ideas. And I want to prevent that too. Like if somebody is coming up there and they do have, you know, like absolutely shit, I don't want to like let them like plow through it, you know what I mean? I kind of want to be investigative a little bit if people have like things I don't necessarily understand or like have ever maybe heard like defended, you know, or maybe like something I have heard defended, you know. There could be things I want to talk about. That's all. I understand. I know what you're talking about, buddy. I have no idea what was going on. Yeah, that was good though. I learned about Mog. I learned that Mog was like under, you know, like some of his understands of things. His actual like perspectives on the whole thing that I misunderstood. I think that was more explanation, wasn't it? Well, there was a misunderstanding and a clarification, and then Mog really clarified. I was like, oh my god, Mog kind of based? That's what happened there. But that doesn't mean there's more shit there. So we're gonna go to the dam. Because fuck it. I wonder, actually. Daniel, I'm not the bachelorette of the channel. Hold on, what do you mean? Wait, hold on. Hold on, Chloe. Hold on. Yeah, Joe Biden did do bad things. There's absolutely white people that did bad things. I'll let Mog clarify that he didn't mean for it to be like about black folks in particular, and he could probably give infinite ideas. Yeah. And so, well, people are allowed to, just like you when the conversation about like what's funny about somebody speaking Chinese, when that was happening. And by the way, that person's gone. That homie hasn't come back when we shut that down. You know, Courtney's allowed to, you know, provide a little like, why didn't you provide this? But I don't think she's necessarily, yeah. Of course he's gone. He was racist. And you know what? That's right. And I don't think Courtney was calling you racist. She just wanted to understand why in like the last instance there was only black people, and that's all. Like, let's talk about some other shitty people. And I think that's fair. We shouldn't fight. Right, and I think you would have just given like another hero. I don't hold him up as a hero for sure. I still don't get that bit. Yeah, I still don't get the bit either. But they would oblige me. He would oblige me when I would say, do English things, but then they would come back and do it, and like. And so yeah, I see it now. You know what I mean? Right. How would it be done? In my head, maybe? What's a way to do that when we're here together? Examples of something, you know, come up and it's like maybe there's a little targeting. I think the way maybe would be to like bring up just examples of other heroes, as you did. But yeah, I think it's not necessarily an accusation. I think it's more let's like make the record straight. There's fucking not black people also that fuck this away, and I don't think there was an accusation. I think it was just clarification. Oh God. Still got something for, is today meme day? Oh shit, today's Sunday. Okay. I'll fight you all with slap hands, except find everyone IRL and use one of those sticky slap. That would be really cool. That would be the way to do it. Yeah, they get hella sticky hella fast. Yeah. Them shits. I bring double of those. Damn, I don't have good names. We're going back and forth about which I did say it, and I remember you did say that. I do recall. Wait, I don't think that was Courtney calling racist. Wait, what was happening? Oh, maybe? I don't know. I don't know what's happening. I don't want to fight you guys. I just got here. I don't think either of y'all are racist if it means anything. Well, all you had to do was just, you know, name a white person, name someone else. That's all. I think that's what I was trying to get to. Like, how can we do this? Let's name some people that aren't really quick, just to make each other feel better. It makes things better when we hear each other instead of go, you missed this thing and got it wrong. Because then we start feeling bad and accusing each other, like we're accusing each other. So we can just go like, yeah, you're right. There are some white people that suck, and we go, yeah. Or there's Chinese people that suck, or whatever. You know, just make the person feel better. Why does she have to? I think she was saying, can we clarify? And she, I think that would have been the thing. Make it about her doesn't seem right. I don't think that you are racist, Mog. I don't think that you're a bad person. I don't think you're any of those things. I think that there's just a defensive posture that isn't necessary. And I understand why you're like, why is she defensive about it? But like the easy diffuse for me right now is like, let's just name a white hero. Let's name a Chinese hero. Let's name a fucking whatever. Let's just appease the situation. And that would have been the fix back then. Maybe it's more now. Just because it's gotten a little tense. But it didn't have to be. It's just clear. There was a miscommunication and a misunderstanding, and Courtney did ask, and we didn't clarify in the moment. And then she made a mention of why it was always about black people. By the time the moment came for her, it kind of cleared up, and then she's getting made to feel like she, you know, it was all her thing. But I don't know. I just want to hear her. I just want it to be all right. Okay, let me think. Larry Bird. Don't ask me why. I don't know anything about Larry Bird. Did he suck? She very much did not ask for clarification. She casually implied racism. Well, if you're feeling like you got microaggressed, don't you see how she felt microaggressed? If it only feels like it's fair that like you stop pursuing her, and you should understand at that point, like there's a microaggression happening, right? That's what's happening. And maybe you're feeling like you're being called racist, which is also a microaggression. But you also didn't diffuse it. You know what I mean? And yeah, I think that's all that's happening here. What weapon should I use to kill the missile launcher guys? A hole cracker. Oh wait, missile launcher guys. No, not the missile launcher. You want to use like a heavy weapon, like a Pharaoh, or something that you can like get some good shots off on the rotors because they're heavily armored. Let me keep reading. Begin defensive, aren't we? It's very easy to immediately respond with defensiveness in these conversations. Yeah. Nobody responded to the microaggression part. That feels like a confirmation of what I said, and ignoring, you know, I mean, I don't know. I feel like that's what happened. Am I wrong? Like, Mog definitely has, like, strong standards, and it feels like for somebody that pursued people as hard as he does, it would be really easy to be like, I see a microaggression happening, and you know, my bad. And that's the simple as, right? But I mean, you could pull the microaggression card too. I see it. It's fair because it did happen there. Yeah. You can't control how people feel things, right? Like, you can only try to help, and you're saying that you did to the extent, and like, I don't know. Okay, so I'm gonna make it transparent. I got Black Magic to walk away from this channel. I'm not gonna make any sort of content out of this or anything, but Black Magic left the channel, and she left it after I sent an apology, right, to her after that night where everything happened, and she said that I followed up like when it was clear that she left, and she deleted everything and she blocked me and all these things. I was like, okay, well, it's clear you're not coming back, and so I just made it clear, you know, it feels like you're full of shit, that you're ever gonna come back. It feels like you know, you didn't see how you aggressed me, and you're taking offense to the fact that I ribbed you in a way that I felt was equitable to the way that I was, like, you know, hit, but I should have nipped it in the bud. There was more that should have come from, like, I woke up and literally wrote that, and she took that apology as a slap in the face, saying that I should have immediately scolded her when she attacked me. And we're not going to hear each other. I'm not going to see her ever again, I think, and if so, it would have to be in better light, because I've also stopped communication. And I'm saying all this to say that, like, my apology wasn't correct. It wasn't the one. According to her, I shouldn't have said anything, and she was going to come back. But I apologized, trying to make it, you know, like, hey, I woke up thinking about you and how yesterday's conversation went, and she took that the wrong way. It's not up to me. It's not up to me for that to happen, like how she took it. We're never going to chat again, and that's just going to be the way it is. I don't know how it's going to work out with, like, you guys here, but I'd like it to work out, and I'm just trying to parallel this story because it could be like, the apology can fall short, you know, if there was an attempt. And I've been on damage control trying to kind of help Courtney feel assuaged, but, like, I don't know, if the shoe fits kind of hit me wrong too when she kind of stood by it. And so there's yeah, I don't know, guys. Presents micro machine, dude. Tell me why I swear I read micro penis. You would have had a ball last night. There you go. Yeah, aim for the rotors. There you go. The same one, though. You want to hit the same one. She has the right to ask for clarification without needing to coddle feelings. All I said was my eyebrow was raised. Am I not allowed to question things? Immediately said miss me with the racism accusation. And I just don't like calling each other racist, like with the shoe fit. That's the one thing I was like, well, I don't love that. When it was, like, clear that it was like, okay, she does mean that. Like, as I said, no, I don't think she's necessarily, and then, yeah, she did mean it. But, like, I don't know. I don't believe either of you are racist. I don't think the racist people I believe that would be in the channel are not among us. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. But you didn't clarify though. You wanted her to clarify, but you didn't. You still haven't like said, "Yo, fuck this guy." Like, you could literally just appetize me by like dunking on a bunch of people right now. You've taken no opportunity to do it. You've just said, "I've tried my best," and like the guy that's trying to like give the answer and make it as easy as possible for the class is like not getting the answers. I feel like this is what my teachers would have gotten from me instead of my homework. Excuse or other fights or arguments. Which is why I felt like you would understand the part about being microaggressed, and that didn't get answered. Like, there's just been no answer to it. There's just I did try. I did the one-time thing, and that's good, which is, it goes back to my apology. Like, that wasn't good enough. That wasn't it. You immediately took defense about not being a racism or whatever, and saying, yeah, because Joe Biden sucks. Because obviously Joe Biden sucks. But like, you haven't tried to appease Courtney other than your attempt, which she's very clearly said sucked, right? So you don't understand being microaggressed. So as a minority, you're going to sit here and say you don't understand a black person feeling microaggressed by black people being singled out in an example where they're the people that are used as the cudgel for bad people? You don't see that? Where did she say that? Courtney, did I not just make clear what you were experiencing? She's probably gone because she hit an "oh brother" when I challenged the, like, if the shoe fits stuff. But I think I nailed it on the head. That's exactly what's happening. That's why she was asking for clarification. She's a black woman living in New York. You don't? Okay, Mug, I need you to hear. I don't need Courtney to hear a microaggression because you're feeling microaggressed. You don't understand what a microaggression is. Please go educate yourself on what a microaggression is, because you're the defensive person not understanding what's happening here. Like, I don't think I should have to tell a minority this. I'm a minority telling a minority about how they affected a minority, and this is silly. I don't understand. It's actually disappointing, like, two ways. I'm disappointed I can't challenge Courtney on that clarification. I'm disappointed that you can't understand what a fucking microaggression is. There's nothing to talk about here. Yeah. You're making it really clear that I can't learn from you as effectively, because you can't take any criticism without being like, you're right, you know what? Everyone's wrong here. There's nothing to talk about. And that is a weird form of arrogance that I don't admire. So. Ooh. feels really easy. Like every time I'm apologizing for things, like, and I'm on receiving things, like, I'm like, damn, yeah, you're right. That's how I could apologize. But y'all, like, the internet is so volatile. You're so volatile. Yeah, you guys can all get in here. Jump in here, you guys.
What's up, Dan? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Cool. I can hear you too. I'm turning down the stream volume so we don't get echo. But aside from that, I'm here. Whatever you want to say, bro.
I don't got shit to say. It's you and Courtney. I'm waiting for Courtney before anything happens. I've said my piece.
I've said mine too. So, I guess maybe I haven't. Let me clarify then.
I'm waiting for Courtney still.
So this whole reaction there,
I'd like to wait for Courtney to get in.
I see it as a defensive posture because that's what it is, because that's what it was, right? And so,
okay, well,
I guess on the
are you not? Hello?
Just let me finish that out. Just let me finish the thought.
Okay. Okay. So hold on. Yep. Okay. Cool. Okay. So Mog's not respecting what I'm saying, so we're gonna wait until he can, which is when Courtney's here, because Courtney said that she wants to be in VC, and I'd really like to have Courtney in here so we can have this conversation. So let's go ahead and wait for Courtney to enter the fight, please, because this is not my fight. I didn't start this. I don't even want to field. I'm simply a host. So, yeah. Again, I have said no. Neither of these people, in my opinion, are racist. They both mean so much in different ways to me, and just exhausted.
We ran out of police booms, so forks for everyone.
I can play the game. It's just I can't play the game without being. This will be on my mind. So many people are leaving, jumping ship. Like, me being alive for this Unscuffening-athon is just making more fights happen. And it's really fucking... I need to squash some fights as they're going on. And Courtney's right, we need to be in VC. Here we go. Okay. Now, the floor is y'all's.
Very sorry for, what you interpreted or what you felt was single-sided targeting of black men, but that's, again, not at all what that was. So, yeah, sorry about that.
I think you read my message as like a, what the hell, man? But it was more like a, what? Like I wasn't being crazy about it. I was just asking. And I did say, like, I don't understand what you guys are talking about, but that did seem a bit interesting. And then as far as the if the shoe fits thing, does that saying, like, I feel like sometimes it is true the shoe is fitting and somebody is like saying that because they know the shoe is fitting, but I wasn't saying you're racist. I
Fair
was
enough.
just raising my eyebrow.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, so no racism accusation there. Just whole misinterpretation because in the context of it, I couldn't really see it any other way.
Yeah.
Dan had his opinion on that topic, and he also had a similar interpretation to me on the statement.
Right.
So, and again, this isn't populism. That's not really what this is about. It's just to demonstrate or illustrate the validity of the interpretation, the rationality of the interpretation. Really, just saying I didn't really, just jump to a ridiculous conclusion or a ridiculous interpretation to try and vilify you or anything. I just couldn't really interpret it in a way that wasn't that, given the context of that conversation. So again, like if you, I pointed out Jefferson, I pointed out Washington. We can talk about how Washington was, at the end of it all, just a guy looking to escape his debts, from the UK, right? Like, because that was a whole big part of it too.
And I know
yeah.
the context wasn't like and mind you, like just to get back to it because I feel so fucking unheard here. These are both of these examples are microaggressions. Can I get both of you to agree that you both feel microaggressed here?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that's pretty clear. Yeah, I think that's pretty clear. So it's
Okay.
acknowledged. It's agreed with. You're good. You're good.
And so like I'm so thankful that we could come to that agreement because I like it's really important. Like this is such a like in my I forget what it was, cultural, it was like a cultural class in college. This was something that me and my friend that I would now look back on and be like, damn, he was my ride or die through my Republican days, and he still runs like dude, he probably still has Ben Shapiro shit and Jordan Peterson shit. But either way, when he was in that class, I was forced to have a conversation, and I actually sat in this class a couple times. That's like a joke because you can go sit in classes, and I had an off period, and I really was forced to reckon with what a microaggression is, and then after that, like I was like shown that like that example, like in that setting that wasn't mine. I actually had that class, a different version of that class at a different college and at UW, and like it helped me recognize just how often it's happening to people that care about each other. Like when I was in the Navy, I was microaggressed every goddamn time an officer passed me in the hallway that I said hello to, or a sailor that would pass me in the hallway and I would say hello and they didn't say hi to me. I would get microaggressed because I was like, why can't we say hi? We see each other every fucking day passing down this hallway at 3 a.m. I see you on your way to work. I'm on my way to work. Why can't we just say hi? It would be nice little pleasantries, and damn it, it fucked me up. So like, and I didn't realize that that's what it was until I was fucking in my 30s. And so it's important to recognize when you're frowning at somebody, when your language, it matters, and things happen, and so like, man, I care about you guys both so much, and so it was bringing me down, y'all. Like, I don't know if you can see it happening live, but I was getting shut down by watching you both fucking squabble in there in a way that seemed like it was getting ugly. And so, like, man, please, I care, and I do want you both to like feel like you can say, hey, I'm being microaggressed, or I feel like something, and maybe we can be clear in ways that don't feel like so much finger pointing. But man, I don't want Mog to be called a racist. I don't want Courtney feeling hurt, and I need to do better at fucking like somehow clearing the air. When I saw it happening, I was like, oh shit, I need to do a thing, and maybe it shouldn't be on Mog to be like, all these people are heroes, but that's the only thing I can think of. I don't have something. That's all I can think of.
Right. second generation immigrant. I'm a second generation Chinese immigrant. And so just the other day, I got quizzed on my Chinese by a first generation immigrant Chinese friend, right? And so the thing is, I actually am fluent in Cantonese, believe it or not, like legit fluent, okay? I speak to my parents every day in Cantonese. We don't speak English at all, okay?
Okay.
So
Okay.
the thing there is, right, when he quizzed me like this, okay, that is an example of such a microaggression, okay? It's not overt, right? It's
Right,
just
right.
a casual kind of hatred, right? A casual kind of punching down, you know?
And when you
my buddy-
answered her, how did she respond? I'm curious.
this is a male friend, by the way. So
Welcome
he
back,
actually-
everyone.
he
Welcome
actually-
back. Sorry
he
about the
actually-
crash.
he actually- no, it's fine. It's fine. I didn't make it specific.
Oh,
So
oh
he
no,
actually-
I was
he
saying sorry to chat. Sorry, my bad.
Okay. So he actually opened up that conversation. It's like, okay, let's have a conversation in Chinese. So he asked me, you know, like how, like, what'd you see today? What happened today? And I responded to him, you know, saying like, oh, did you see all the news about Trump and what he's doing in the country and all that kind of stuff? There was a really big deal. And he said, and then he followed up with that by saying like, oh, like what things? At which point I had to tell him, right? Again, also fluent Cantonese, right? I don't really know those words. I don't know the word for pedophile. I don't know the word for Trump raped a kid. I actually don't know those words, right?
Oh,
And so
interesting.
I gave him the example. I gave him the example that I would say something like, if my parents were to ask me that something specific, I would say to them something to the extent of, Trump was playing with kids, right? And so this is how we bypass, right? Even as people with limited vocabulary, relatively limited, right? It's not generally limited, just on a few specific things, because I've never ever talked about them in Chinese, right? That I don't
Right.
really have the term to describe these specific things.
I have that
And
in
so when we
English.
have this- yeah, exactly, right? And so when we have this, right, we rely on the people that we're talking with to give you that benefit of the doubt
Thanks,
and
Morgan.
communicate openly, right? Even when the vocabulary isn't particularly precise. Because if I say a grown man is playing with kids, yeah, buddy, everybody the fuck knows what that means, okay?
Right.
At least if they're trying, right? They could hit you with some semantic bullshit argument like, he wasn't playing, what do you mean? Why would you downplay that? That's not playing. Like, they could hit you with that. But, you know, that's a bad faith argument, right? That's a
Right.
that's a bad faith statement made from a person aware of these, you know, these lexical limitations, you know.
Absolutely.
Just again, as an example of the microaggression, this is a little bit more than a microaggression. I felt about this one, okay? I was very irritated, okay?
Okay.
But the thing is, at the end of that conversation, we were able to have this guy understand, you know, vocabulary is not communication, and that was a win in and of itself. Right? I do know how to curse, and his whole example was like, oh, you gotta know how to curse somebody out in Cantonese, buddy.
Yes,
Of
I
course, I know how to curse somebody out in Cantonese. Of course, like I don't know all of the incredibly, you know, diverse, different, you know, curses
Yeah.
and things that Chinese people shout at each other.
Right.
But that doesn't mean that I don't understand them or that I wouldn't understand them and that I wouldn't know how to defend myself. Even a dog knows the difference between you kicking it on purpose and you stepping on its tail by accident,
Right.
right?
Right.
Even a
period.
dog understands. Even a dog understands. Humans, on the other hand, will pretend that other humans cannot tell the difference. You know.
And you know,
Gets into the old... Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
oh no, I guess that's why I guess when I see two people that I care about, like you guys, I guess this is me asking to be a little sugarcoaty with each other, but like, man, if we can't be more like at least to you guys, you know what I mean? Like I feeling like she is overt, like saying something like that. I would ask if there's like a spectrum in your head. If it's somebody around here like a Courtney and a Mog, for instance, you know, like maybe they aren't saying the thing that we might be seeing, and we should question. And when we see the question, it should maybe not be like
Right.
oh, I'm so oh, then I'm this, you know what I mean? And I think that
Right.
that would make it so much easier to diffuse in my perspective, like from my angle, and that's like that's all.
And that's the thing, bro. That's the thing, bro. People don't have this for each other. There are
Right.
times in the past where you have also not had this for me, right?
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
So when we talk about things like this, and we talk about, and this is the problem with the internet, right? There's this kind of emotional reactivity, right? And
Right.
there's this tendency to jump on whatever thing instead of, just backing up just a little bit, right? Okay, let's take a statement. Okay, let's take a statement. I'm a big chicken fan. Okay, there are
right.
at least 7 totally distinct and totally meaningful interpretations of the phrase "I am a big chicken fan." Right, at least 7. Okay.
Yes.
So it's on the person that's reading the statement to make it make sense, right? Like,
Yeah.
I'm not calling myself a large ventilation device for chicken, right? Like, but you can also go with that interpretation if you wanted to skewer a fucking argument, And so again,
Right.
that was a ridiculous example to illustrate the arbitrary nature of words. Okay, the arbitrary nature of the words in the communication, and why communication in and of itself is so much more than word, right?
It is.
But the internet, okay, the internet has people taking these plain statements, right, and interpreting them in the most ridiculous ways to start fights, to pick fights, right, to defend whatever thing they feel like was a slight, right? The most obvious example I can think of with you, right, was when I said there is no intrinsic value to crypto, and I didn't use the word intrinsic, right? I said there is no value to crypto.
Right. It was a quick draw.
Right, and so you immediately reacted to that, right?
Yep. That's my little reactionary ways.
But the fact is simple, right? Crypto is another kind of fiat currency. That really is fundamentally what it is, right? With the most primary difference between crypto and something like the US dollar, right? Being that crypto does not have any backing from any sanctioned organization or entity, you know? And so that's the fundamental difference there, right? It's not controlled by a central bank, okay? This is a good thing to some people, but because it's not controlled by a central bank, that means that it is another kind of arbitrary. There is no fundamental difference between a meme coin and Bitcoin, right? Except the meme coin is really just more obviously a scam vehicle, because that really is the point of a meme coin, to be like a scam vehicle. So or we're just talking about the general vagaries of communication now. Now I think you and I hashed it out, and so that's cool.
Do you want it? If you want to add Courtney, I'm down. I'm down for you to add.
Yeah, go. Sorry, I just talk a lot.
I don't know what I'm adding. It sounds like to me, everything that Monk's saying right now, he's trying to say that my statement was like emotional and volatile, and I'm very confused.
I think we've changed directions, unless Mog was doing that.
It's semi-related. It's semi-related. So let me clarify for you, Port. So that the raising of an eyebrow, just that simple statement, right? So that is a kind of reaction, right? And so I did what I could to, again, quash that idea. And I think my response was my response of with that racism accusation. That was that was right a very inappropriate way for me to respond to that. But I was also having an emotional reaction to that statement.
There's a little volatility on both sides there. With
there was definitely volatility. There was definitely volatility there on my response. But I guess the thing that I'm thinking here is that, you know, the whole raising of an eyebrow, there is some amount of an emotional response and reaction.
and
So, you know,
and I guess I'm going to give her a little credence in that when she asked for clarity earlier, we didn't give her an answer, and then that was her second.
I think I missed it. I think I straight up missed that earlier request for clarification.
Right, and that's why I'm giving her that credit.
Right. Yeah. So sorry about that. Sorry about that, Court. If I did, not if I actually just missed your request for clarification there. So really sorry about that. I could scroll up in chat. I don't need to. I believe you. So yeah, really sorry about, you know, missing that whole thing there, because it just kind of went in a weird direction after that, you know.
And I can see from Mog's perspective how, like, that if that's a first question, it's like, okay, well, why are you doing this? But like, again, it's taking a step back and being like, maybe I missed something before this, you know, and you've already admitted it, so it's a volatile reaction. So like, yeah. Exactly.
And the whole thing is like I actually, believe it or not, I actually do read chat very, very thoroughly for the most part. Not while we're here talking, because, you know, I wanted to focus on this conversation.
Of course.
But yeah, I missed that, and that's on me. That's on me, because I really could have, you know, this never would have got to this point had I seen that initial request for clarification.
Yeah, insane. So insane. So let's all have digital hug, and be thankful for each other in New Year, and we're all not asshole, I believe. And
yeah, all the rest of it, Port was really just me responding to Dan's request for acknowledgement on the idea of a microaggression, and so, you know, that was me telling a story describing, yeah, this is a thing that ethnic minorities, visible minorities, just experience so regularly that we can't afford, you know, to be bothered by it, you know, because.
How do you relate to that, Courtney? Do you get microaggressed? Can you relate to him on that?
Oh yes. Do you want me to elaborate? I'm not sure if I.
If you, I mean, like, so. Yeah, if whatever space if you'd like, right. And so what I meant.
I can't think of anything off the top of my head because
I guess I'll let you form. So I'll form my question better for you, like, in the sense that he was saying that because you're both like visible minorities and very like distinctly so, you would be. It's something that you see happen all the time, and so when it happens between one another, it can be something that it's like that's clearly not this, or this clearly is this, or like, sorry, Mog, am I interpreting you correctly there, or
no? I was just gonna point out the fact that we actually can't think of anything specific is actually illustrative to just how pervasive it is, right? It is so fucking normal, we don't even think about it. It's just life.
So when it does happen, do you feel like it sticks out more then? Because like...
No, it doesn't.
No?
It doesn't. The overt racism does still stick out. Overt racism sticks out because it's not so casual, right? Because it's not a microaggression, right? It's in your fucking face.
Right. All right.
So, well. Yeah, but the whole thing with microaggressions too, you know, and the intent matters, unfortunately, you know. Mm-hmm. Intent does matter.
And I don't think.
Sorry, go ahead.
I don't think she intended to call you racist. You know, I mean, just like you didn't intend to.
And I understand that.
Single out black, right? And so, right.
So the whole and so these things aren't aware, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and so when trying to think of an example here. So yeah, there are some phrases out there. Okay, so we'll use common phrases as an example. Oh God, okay, is oh my God a microaggression against Christians? On another example that's very closely related, right?
Right.
The use of the term spirit animal, is that a microaggression against Native American, right? And so when the microaggressions, right, are woven into basic standard communication, right, what can be done about it? Because there are Christians out there that feel attacked when you take the Lord's name in vain.
Yeah, they just
How
straight up
does
won't
that,
do it, or
how,
they'll feel yeah.
right? How is that different from some kid on the internet talking about their spirit animal in relation to a raccoon, right?
Mm-hmm.
There is a difference there. There is a difference there.
There is.
Believe it or not. You know?
So
Sorry, Cor, go ahead.
I want to make sure you feel heard, Court. So if there's thoughts you want to get out, like, or something isn't quite coming through, let it be known. I'm going to erase my... Oh, it costs money? Ew! Fuck, well, we're just keeping that level then. I really wanted to swap that level out. Oh well.
Alright. What was the question?
Just if you are you feeling heard? Is there anything that you want to get out that's gonna, like, we don't want to leave any bad blood in there, or if there's anything...
As far as Mog, yes. But for you, I have to say, the Oh Brother was not for you.
Oh, was it?
And also...
You vanished after the Oh Brother!
Because things I was typing, and then Mog would say something, and then I deleted it and started typing to that, and then he would say something, and then I was...
No, you're good, you're good.
Sorry,
Keep going.
Yeah.
It's a big part of the block, you know, when Guy is talking verbally and other people are responding just in text. You know, it's a huge problem.
It is, it is.
So really
So go ahead.
sorry about that. I
want her to get her complaint about me up. Go ahead, Courtney.
Oh, no complaints. I was
Oh, what do you
just
mean?
saying, I'm sorry that this made you uncomfortable.
It made me uncomfortable because I care about you guys, not because I want to get this solved. Like, seeing it end this way is so much better than seeing you guys go, okay, well, I'm just gonna get out of here. So, I'm happier that you wanted to talk about it. I feel like this is the way to resolve things. So, yeah, especially with y'all's caliber in my mind. So thank you.
Just responding to Ask Jab here. It's I think yes and no. I think the answer is literally it's yes and no. I mean, if you think about stuff like this, it's like the whole like burning in hell thing. That's not even part of the scriptures, right? That's from Dante's Inferno, and you know, some enterprising Catholic decided like, oh, this is great imagery. This can really pull some people in. So you know, let's make it a thing. But it's just really hard to, you know, go that far back and you know, people's traditions and how they believe, like they're like 2 generations deep, right? It's like your grandparents, basically, you know. And this is the whole thing for, you know, why people forget lessons as well, you know, lessons from history, lessons from war, because people just forget, you know, or the only thing that they hang on to is the emotion or the response to it, right? And they just forget the context. So it's both there, Astrap.
And I think if I could respond to Marissa about like people not being a monolith, like I do agree that people aren't a monolith, but I think that there is, and maybe I'm responding incorrectly to what you're saying, and I think it's about like not knowing how to, or who we should sugarcoat our like processes for around here at least.
Yeah.
And I think that the way that I would do that is by it's actually your own interpretation of it. You know what I mean? Like, we're all not going to have friends around here. We're not going to have this, but there's going to be people that like I'm going to revere that aren't going to have sub badges because they've never been sub, but they've been here forever. So that can't be a way. And so it's going to be up to each viewer to determine like who's someone that they should have some reverence for. And I don't mean reverence in like they're so great, but like just a little bit of patience for what maybe a message. And it won't be everybody because I don't have patience with everybody. But like and there's been people that have been here for a while and I still won't have patience with them because I might respond a little bit sharper than my other people and with less of a calm cadence because I disagree in many ways and they don't show up as much maybe because I'm so disagreeable with them. And so like and that doesn't mean we still can't show them reverence, like kindness, but I think when there's something.
This is the term you're looking for there, Dan.
What is
Deference.
it? Deference. See, there we go.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
that's
so
the term you're looking for.
just have some deference for the folks that you might see around, and you don't have to love them, but like I don't think that. I think for the most part we do that, and I'm just asking for it overtly since there was a bit of a thing here. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I want to chime in on the monoliths too. So if you think about a monolith, it's like a broad caricature, right? And when you think of broad caricatures really are just stereotype, you know. So I'm gonna attack one of those stereotypes, and that is the Asian kids good at math stereotype, right? So the thing is, you know, with the whole DEI rollback and everything like that, Asian American enrollment at top universities is up 100%, has literally doubled. Okay, so there is some statistical basis to support the whole Asians are good at math stereotype, right? But the thing is, there are more below average Chinese people in the world than there are Americans in total, right? And the other statistical corollary to that is that there are more statistically above average Chinese people than there are Americans in total, you know? So like when we talk about monoliths, right? And we talk about like stereotypes or cultural assumptions, you know, it's really tough because I assure you that many Asians also embrace the Asians are good at math stereotype, even to the point where they make fun of other Asian kids as being not Asian because they're bad at math, right? Or they're incredibly destructive, you know? These monolithic interpretations and these stereotypes, they are incredibly destructive even when they are, you know, supposed to be positive, right? So
because I wonder if it has anything to do with my anecdotal like experience in when I was going for my CS degree, and again I'm going to say this at the top. I expressed that I did cheat at different periods, and I got caught for cheating, which forced me to take an extra credit, like quarter of school and shit. Anyways, but that's you know, I my experience was the people that were cheating the most was like certain Asian communities that I saw them in.
That's actually known. That's a known fucking fact. Especially with Asian
like parents and shit.
Oh no, not this isn't within Americans, right? So this is more specific than that. But they're not exchange students. Where are they? They're just foreign students, right? The Asian foreign students are notorious for cheating, right? They're notorious for, you know, and that is also a statistical fact. So
Interesting.
this is me saying sometimes they're not even sometimes. Stereotypes are based in reality, right? The problem with a stereotype is when you over extrapolate that.
Right.
And you do what Marissa was saying, and you paint the entire group as a fucking monolith based on any whatever given thing. That doesn't mean that there aren't, cultural difference, because the whole idea of a cultural difference is monolithic to begin with, right? So there has to be nuance there, with regards to the whole interpretation or description of culture and people. And you can tell, you can actually tell, right, when somebody's using a cultural stereotype or whatever else to punch down or be shitty.
Yeah.
And you can tell when people are celebrating it.
It's
Again,
weird.
It's back to the whole communication idea.
You can I just express something really quick on that note? Like, I thought
Of
that
course.
as I got older, that people would have like more nuanced humor, but it's weird how an insult that is that low, like something that is like just a stereotype, it can be a grand slam in a room full of adults, and it's like, wait, hold on.
I mean, yeah, they're shit.
Now, mind
People
you,
are shit.
a comedian can do it because there's whatever, like that's their thing, and it can be funny, whatever. But like in a room full of like adults that aren't doing comedy and are just making some one person uncomfortable, it can be really a fucking home run. And that is a weird phenomena to experience as an adult, because I thought it would go away because I experienced it so much as a child. But no.
Yeah.
Fuck no.
It's not. So we've talked about this too, right? So the example I've used is falsifying the tooth fairy, and so we'll use that again. Children, right? Kids are born scientists. It's not particularly formal, and the models aren't particularly nuanced. But the stove burns me. Hot stove burns is a totally valid scientific model.
Yeah.
And it's extremely useful for anybody that's burned themselves on a hot stove.
Unfortunately,
Most kids don't have to be told. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna give the quick story. Unfortunately, it's the reason why I wasn't allowed in the kitchen for many years as a child, was because I literally had that experiment.
Right. So to continue on with that, then the thing is,
Yes,
like,
I would.
again with the whole tooth fairy thing, most kids don't have to be told that the tooth fairy, they just figure it out. Okay. So the problem is with adults that they lose this, right? They replace science with belief. They replace exploration with what belief they picked up over time. And this is why, okay? Fundamentally, education is not fear and hatred. Despite what everybody wants to believe, it just does not work that way. And we've talked about that too. So this is just, this is me just reinforcing this experience you've had with like these slam dunk racist jokes,
Right.
In a group of ostensibly, tolerant, upstanding people, they'll just laugh at some call it a racist joke,
Straight up.
So
Straight up.
It's like that, bro. It's like that, When we have experience and we get punished for them, when we get, socked in the mouth for saying something shitty to somebody, people forget that, right? Or they don't forget that and they just surround themselves with like-minded idiots.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, and then by the time you realize just how. So sorry for what?
I missed your request for clarification. Sorry. I'm just saying sorry again to Court for missing her request for clarification. I usually do better about reading chat. I missed it. So.
Happy 420, everybody.
Yeah. Anything else, Dan?
Oh, I'm happy camper. I'm good. I'm about to play some rivals with Courtney, and I feel like everybody feels heard here, so I'm pretty happy moving on.
All right. Enjoy your day, guys. Enjoy the Marvel Rivals. Have a good one.
Hey, you too, brother. Take care. And thank you. Oh, shit. Bum, 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 bum. Hi, Court. I think today we'll have to try zombies again. I think I have enough onks. Dude, I was thinking about that. Yeah, the German work ethic is you're saying you don't have it, huh, ass jab? I disagree. Fuck you. How about that? You like that? Ah, I got it. So they do it real slow. I don't know the reference. I wish I do. I love Cheech and Chong, but apparently not that much. I heard a Courtney
It's me,
mic.
Courtney.
Whoa. Hi, Courtney. You ready to do some of this here game?
Raid?
Wait. No, I'm playing Marble.
Arc Raid? Oh, I didn't want you to get off Arc Raiders. We were gonna play.
Oh, you don't want me to play?
No, I want to play Marvels, but I was saying after you raid because you didn't.
There's
get
no
to
good
raid.
raids. I did play it. There's no good raids right now. Yeah. There's no good raids. Boopity doo.